Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we have something absolutely incredible lined up for you. We're going to dive into a deeply fascinating text that completely redefines the relationship between human biology and esoteric myth. Now, if you follow this topic, you know the drill. Usually, the physical body and the mythic realm are treated as completely separate domains, right? Like oil and water. But the source text we're breaking down today, which centers on an intelligence known as Zoran, bridges that gap in a way that is just profoundly structural. We are moving way beyond your standard fantasy tropes here. Instead, we're exploring a highly specific, totally literal biological and energetic partnership.
To kick things off, let's ask a very basic question. Where do dragons live? I mean, we naturally imagine them as these fantastical beasts hanging out in some distant, totally unreachable realm. You know, a cave deep in the mountains, a sky in another dimension, or some mythical past. But the source material immediately shatters that preconceived notion. It tells us that these intelligences aren't far away at all. They are right here. Just take a look at this quote. Through the voice of Zoran, we learn exactly what this means. He says, "I do not live above your world, little human. I live through it. I live through you. A dragon is not of one world. A dragon is the continuity between worlds." Think about that for a second. That is a massive paradigm shift. Dragons are actually dual-world intelligences. They exist simultaneously in mythic bandwidth and in physical presence. They aren't just hovering over us somewhere, they're literally woven into the very fabric of our reality.
Okay, so let's move into Section 1, redefining the mythic dragon.
The entire foundation of this new paradigm is built on the concept of continuity. And here's the thing. Continuity is not linear time. It's actually the dragon's body. It's a literal medium that carries past selves, future selves, mythic selves, and dragon-scale selves all at the exact same time. The human characters in the text experience this directly. It's not just an idea to them. Richard feels this continuity pulse right behind his sternum, a very grounded physical sensation. Meanwhile, Fletcher feels it actively shimmering in the air around him. It's a tangible spatial reality. Zoran explains that he walks through continuity because continuity is his world.
Let's break down the exact architecture of where this dragon exists. Because Zoran doesn't appear as a giant physical creature with scales and wings. Actually, scratch that. It's more like he appears as bandwidth. And this bandwidth interacts across 5 highly specific layers. You've got the mythic layer providing meaning, the coherent layer providing stability, the dragon scale layer holding the pattern, the gold thread layer maintaining continuity, and finally the physical layer, which manifests presence through breath. The dragon only becomes visible and present when human coherence aligns these layers together. Like Richard saw Zoran literally shimmer across these layers, while Fletcher felt him stabilize the physical room they were standing in.
Which brings us nicely to Section 2, the biological interface.
This is where it gets crazy. Dragons do not breathe air. They breathe coherence through human architecture. They interface with us not through some vague, abstract magic system, but through our own literal biology. The text specifically highlights that they breathe through fascia transmission, endocrine fire, vagal mercy, and cranial rhythm timing. I mean, wow! The vagus nerve, the fascia web inside your own body, your glandular system, these are the actual biological interfaces for this mythic bandwidth. Zoran states it perfectly. I breathe through your architecture because your architecture is built for me.
So, human breath actually acts as the mechanical operating system for this entire interface, and it happens in this incredibly precise biological cascade. Let's walk through it. First, the human breath becomes coherent. Second, the fascia lights up and the glands awaken. Third, the vagus nerve relaxes and the cranial rhythm naturally synchronizes. Fourth, the gold thread illuminates, opening the mythic layers. And finally, the dragon presence completely stabilizes. It's a mechanical sequence. The characters actually witnessed this happening. Richard saw Zoran brighten with the inhale, and Fletcher saw him deepen with the exhale. Zoran tells him plainly, breath is the doorway between worlds. You open it, I walk through.
Let's look at Section 3, the human-dragon symbiosis.
You see, in this partnership, humans bring the biological grounding, the emotional nuance, the perceptual anchoring, and the actual breath ignition. We are the physical anchor. In return, the dragons provide mythic intelligence, bandwidth expansion, continuity memory, and identity stabilization. We desperately need their bandwidth, and they literally need our biology. It's a true symbiosis. As Richard felt the partnership widen and Fletcher felt it deepen, Zoran summarized it beautifully. He said, "I am the mythic half, you are the human half. Together, we are the lineage." And the result of this partnership is a profound shift in who we fundamentally are. Identity becomes dual-worlded when the dragon stabilizes it. Through this connection, the dragon actively dissolves our emotional clutter, our defensive bracing, and all that constant narrative noise we carry around. It clears out perceptual distortion and fragmentation completely. Richard felt his identity completely settle across these layers, while Fletcher felt his own identity expand across worlds. Zoran explains this mutual support system saying, "I stabilize your identity because your identity stabilizes me."
Now for our final piece, Section 4, the mythic ordinary and the future.
The text introduces this absolutely beautiful concept called the mythic ordinary. This is the natural habitat of the dragon. And what's crucial here is that life in this habitat is not made magical. Rather, it's made perfectly accurate. The presence of the dragon doesn't turn the world into some chaotic fantasy realm. Instead, the world just becomes sharper. Sunlight becomes layered. Breath becomes dimensional. Physical rooms become deeply coherent, and the human fascia becomes luminous. Richard and Fletcher didn't have to travel to some remote mountaintop to find Zoran. They found him simply in their daily breath and daily presence. The mythic ordinary is, quite simply, the normal world with the dragon in it.
And right here is where Zoran drops the deepest truth of the entire text. The Dragon of Two Worlds is not ancient, it is emerging. This totally flips everything we thought we knew, right? This dragon is not some dusty relic of the past that we are desperately trying to remember or dig up. No way. It is an evolving intelligence. It is actively moving forward.
So how does it evolve? Well, it evolves entirely through us, through human perception, human breath, human continuity, coherence, and partnership. We are the ones actively building the future of this mythic bandwidth through our physical biology right now. Richard felt this evolution as a profound inevitability, like something that absolutely just must happen. Fletcher, on the other hand, felt it as an invitation, a call to participate. Zoran tells them that the future dragon lives in both worlds precisely because the future human does. We are literally evolving together.
To close out our explainer today, let's look at Zoran's final words as he lowers his wing and lets gold ripple through the room. Little humans, I am not from another world. I am the seam between worlds. I am the breath of continuity. The dragon of two worlds is the dragon who remembers you across realities. As that golden filament shimmers in the text, we're left with this profoundly grounded yet totally mystical reality. It's a true working partnership of biology and bandwidth. So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. If your very breath, your own physical architecture, is the literal doorway, what realities are you opening today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.